All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into Delta Airlines. Sounds good. We've got their December quarter and full year 2024 financial results press release.
Yeah.
And there's some interesting stuff in here.
Yeah, a lot to dig into.
It's not just about the numbers, though, right?
Exactly.
It's about seeing what their strategy is and what's working for them.
Right, and kind of what it tells us about the future of the whole industry.
Yeah, what the future of flying might look like.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, they had a record-breaking year.
They did.
They brought in $61.6 billion in operating revenue
Wow.
for 2024 with a 9.7% operating margin.
That's impressive.
Yeah, those are some pretty big numbers.
Yeah, especially when you think about all the challenges airlines have had to deal with.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we're still seeing those kind of ripple effects from everything that's been going on globally.
Right.
And the economy is still a little bit uncertain.
Yeah, totally.
So for Delta to be posting these numbers is really, really something.
Yeah, seems like they're doing something right.
They are.
And they're sharing the wealth too, right?
Yeah.
They're giving a $1.4 billion profit-sharing payout to employees,
Yeah, that's great.
which is a pretty cool thing for a company to do.
Absolutely.
Says a lot about their culture, I think.
Yeah, it shows they're committed to their employees.
Yeah.
And they realize their success depends on the whole team.
Yeah.
You know, happy employees lead to happy customers. And that's super important when you've got so much competition.
For sure. For sure. Now let's talk about the future,
Okay.
because they're predicting an even bigger 2025.
Right.
Pre-tax income exceeding $6 billion.
Yeah.
Earnings per share greater than $7.35.
Okay.
And over $4 billion in free cash flow.
Wow.
So are they being too optimistic, or what do you think?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
These predictions mean they're aiming for more than 10% growth from their 2024 baseline. And remember, we have to account for the impact of that CrowdStrike outage.
Oh, right.
So that's a pretty ambitious goal. But, you know, Delta has a history of exceeding expectations.
True.
It's going to be interesting to see how they plan to do it, though.
Yeah, how they're going to pull that off.
Yeah, and what factors they're looking at when they're making these forecasts.
Yeah, one thing that's pretty clear from the report is how much demand surged in the last quarter of 2024.
Uh-huh.
They totally blew past their own revenue growth predictions.
Wow.
And even set records for revenue in November and December.
Huh.
What do you think is causing that?
Well, it seems like people are really eager to travel again.
Yeah.
Delta saw a lot of growth in both leisure and corporate travel,
Okay.
and cash bookings were up by double digits.
Wow.
So it seems like people are pretty confident in the economy and in air travel itself.
Yeah.
They're ready to travel again, and they're willing to spend money to do it.
It seems like Delta is capitalizing on all of that.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're also doing some things that seem to be setting them apart from other airlines.
Okay.
Their premium products and their loyalty programs accounted for 57% of their total revenue in 2024.
That's a big chunk.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it shows their strategy's working.
Yeah, it looks like they're really focusing on giving travelers a better experience.
Yeah, and that people are willing to pay for it.
Exactly. And it's not just the seats themselves.
Right.
Their partnership with American Express brought in almost $2 billion in revenue.
Wow.
And it grew by 14% year over year.
That's huge.
Yeah, those loyalty programs are powerful.
They are.
They make customers feel special, and they give them rewards for sticking with the airline.
Yeah, and they provide a lot of data, too.
Oh, that's right.
Airlines can use that to figure out what customers want
Yeah.
and tailor the travel experience to them.
Yeah, it seems like Delta's using those partnerships really effectively.
They are.
Okay, now let's switch gears a bit and talk about international travel, because that's a big deal for any global airline.
Yeah, that's it.
Delta said that all of their international routes did better than they expected, with transatlantic routes doing the best.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because transatlantic travel is often seen as a sign of how healthy the whole industry is.
Ah, okay.
So for Delta to see 6% year-over-year growth in unit revenue there during the December quarter suggests that international travel is bouncing back strong.
Especially for those longer flights.
Exactly.
And it's not just leisure travelers either.
Right.
Corporate sales grew by double digits, too, in the quarter,
Interesting.
with technology and financial services leading the way.
It seems like business travel is back.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's another good sign for Delta.
Yeah.
Because corporate travel is usually very profitable for airlines.
Uh-huh.
And it can tell us a lot about how the economy is doing overall.
Yeah. So that's a good indicator.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And 90% of companies that Delta surveyed expect their travel volumes to either increase or stay the same in the coming months.
That's encouraging.
So it sounds like things are looking up for Delta in that area.
Yeah, they are.
So we've talked about how well they're doing financially
Uh-huh.
and how they're capitalizing on the increased demand for travel.
Right.
But let's not forget how important it is for an airline to run smoothly
Oh, you're absolutely right.
and reliably,
Yeah.
to make sure passengers have a good experience.
Customer satisfaction is key.
Yeah, and Delta has always done well in that area.
They have.
They got the Cirium Platinum Award for Operational Excellence
Wow.
for the 4th year in a row.
4 years in a row.
And they consistently rank at the top for on-time performance in North America.
It's not an accident.
No, it's not.
They're really focused on efficiency, reliability, and customer satisfaction.
And they've made some big investments in pilot training facilities and operational improvements.
Smart move.
Yeah, and it seems to be paying off for them.
Definitely.
Their customers are having a smoother travel experience.
Yeah.
And that can lead to more loyalty and good word-of-mouth advertising.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win.
It is.
And on top of all that, they're giving their whole fleet a makeover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, new cabin design
Nice.
with upgraded seating, a fresh color palette, and a new lighting scheme.
Sounds fancy.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're not just resting on their laurels.
Yeah.
They're constantly looking for ways to improve the experience for their customers.
That's great.
Yeah, and they're even partnering with Shake Shack.
What?
Yeah,
That's cool.
I know, right?
I love Shake Shack.
To bring some gourmet food to select flights.
Okay.
Starting in Boston,
Interesting choice.
I guess they have to start somewhere. But it shows they're trying to elevate the whole in-flight experience.
Right, and give their passengers something special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not all about fancy seats and burgers. Delta is also making a big effort to be more sustainable.
Good.
They know how important it is to be environmentally responsible.
It's essential these days.
They've partnered with the Minnesota SAF Hub
Okay.
to build a facility that blends sustainable aviation fuel.
Yeah. That's a big step towards reducing their carbon footprint.
Yeah, it is. And they're taking some more immediate actions, too.
Oh, like what?
They're switching from plastic cups to paper cups on all their flights.
Mm.
That's going to eliminate millions of pounds of single-use plastic every year.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is, isn't it? It's great to see them taking these steps towards a more sustainable future.
It is. It shows that they're serious about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's good for the whole industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely a step in the right direction.
Totally.
And it's not just, fuel and materials and things like that.
Right.
They're using technology to make things easier and smoother for passengers, too.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, like their Delta Digital ID program,
Okay.
they're expanding that to more airports.
Okay.
So people can use touchless technology in TSA pre-check lanes.
I've been curious about that.
Mm.
What exactly does that mean for passengers?
Well, it could really change the way we go through airports.
Yeah.
Imagine just breezing through security and boarding your flight
Okay.
without ever having to pull out your ID or your boarding pass.
Oh, wow.
That's the idea behind Delta Digital ID.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It makes things easier for passengers.
Yeah.
And it helps Delta manage passenger flow more efficiently, too.
That's really interesting. So they're getting awards for operational excellence.
Mm-hmm.
They're investing in sustainability.
Right.
And they're using technology to improve the travel experience.
Exactly.
Seems like they're trying to be the best in the business.
I think they are.
What do you think is driving all of this?
Well, they seem to be really focused on their customers.
Okay.
They're trying to figure out what travelers want and need,
Yeah.
and then go above and beyond to make them happy.
Okay.
That means everything from investing in premium product to making sure their operations are top-notch,
Yeah.
to using technology to create a seamless digital experience.
They're not just meeting the minimum requirements.
Yeah.
They're setting a new standard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're shaping the future of air travel.
And they're not forgetting about their employees in the process.
Right.
That $1.4 billion profit-sharing payout is a big deal.
It is. It shows they value their employees.
Yeah.
Which is really important in an industry that's known for its labor issues.
Yeah, for sure.
Treating your employees well makes a big difference.
Yeah, it can lead to better service
Absolutely.
and a more positive experience for everyone.
Exactly.
It's fascinating to see how all this is connected. Their strong financial performance,
Yeah.
their focus on premium travel,
Uh-huh.
their commitment to sustainability,
Right.
their efforts to improve the customer experience.
It all fits together.
It does. Where do you think it's all heading? What does it tell us about the future of the airline industry?
That's a good question. It makes you wonder if Delta's success could be a model for other airlines.
Yeah, like a blueprint.
Right. Will we see more premium travel experiences becoming the norm?
Hmm.
How will sustainability become more integrated into the industry?
Yeah, good questions.
These are the kinds of things that will shape the future of air travel.
Do you think other airlines will try to do what Delta's doing?
I think we'll definitely see some copycats.
Yeah.
Airlines are always watching each other,
Right.
and Delta's success is going to inspire others to try something new.
Okay.
We might see more airlines investing in premium cabins,
Hmm.
improving their loyalty programs, focusing more on efficiency and sustainability,
Okay.
and using technology to personalize the travel experience.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Competition often leads to innovation.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And Delta is raising the bar for everyone.
But is that a good thing for passengers?
Hmm.
Will this create a system where only people who can afford premium experiences get all the perks?
That's a valid concern. As airlines put more money into premium offerings,
Right.
there's a risk that the basic economy experience could get even worse.
Yeah.
The challenge for airlines will be to find a balance
Yeah.
between catering to high-paying customers
Yeah.
and making sure everyone has a decent experience.
So it's about finding that sweet spot.
Exactly.
Do you think we'll start to see a bigger gap between the airlines that are embracing these trends and the ones that are falling behind?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
The airlines that don't adapt to what travelers want are going to have a hard time competing.
Yeah.
We've already seen some airlines struggling to keep up, and Delta's success might make things even harder for them.
So looking ahead,
Yeah.
how do you think these trends will affect the traveler's experience 5 or 10 years down the road?
Well, if we look at the big picture, it seems like air travel is becoming more about personalization,
Okay.
convenience, and sustainability.
Got it.
Imagine airports that are totally touchless, airlines offering a wider range of personalized services,
Uh-huh.
and sustainable practices becoming the industry standard.
That sounds pretty cool.
It could change the way we think about and experience air travel.
I like the sound of that.
Okay.
But what about the travelers themselves?
Yeah.
What role will they play in shaping this future?
That's the big question. Will they embrace these changes?
Right.
Will they demand even more?
It's interesting to think about how traveler behavior will affect the industry.
It is.
Will they push for more innovation and personalization?
Yeah.
Or will they resist some of these trends?
It's a two-way street.
Right.
But one thing's for sure, the future of air travel is in our hands.
As both consumers and citizens.
Exactly.
This deep dive has given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's amazing how Delta is raising the bar.
They are.
And it's exciting to see how things will unfold in the coming years.
Yeah, it's going to be a dynamic landscape
Yeah.
with lots of innovation and change. But one thing is clear. The future of air travel is looking more and more customer-focused.
I think that's a good thing.
I do too.
They're really pushing the envelope, you know?
Yeah, and it's not just about the fancy stuff. It's
No.
like they really get what travelers care about.
Exactly. It's about creating an experience that feels right, you know?
Yeah, like it's seamless and it's tailored to you.
And it reflects your values.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
their sustainable aviation fuel thing.
Okay.
It's not just about being green.
Yeah.
It's about making the whole industry more sustainable.
And it shows they care about the environment.
Yeah, and travelers notice that.
Yeah. Especially those who are trying to make more eco-friendly choices.
Exactly.
It's smart, too. It's like they're future-proofing their business.
Right, because regulations are changing and fuel costs are going up.
So it's not just about attracting a certain type of traveler.
No, it's about staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Making sustainability part of who they are.
Not just something they talk about.
Right. Right. So this deep dive has been really eye-opening.
It has.
It's given me a whole new perspective on the airline industry.
Yeah, it's a complex business
And it's facing a lot of challenges.
with also a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. So as we wrap up our look at Delta Airlines,
Okay.
what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think the biggest one is that putting the customer first really matters.
Yeah.
Delta is obsessed with understanding what travelers want,
Yeah.
and they're constantly coming up with new ways to deliver it.
And they're not just talking about sustainability.
No, they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Right. Investing in things that will make a real difference.
Exactly, like sustainable aviation fuel and other
And
initiatives.
they're using technology in smart ways.
Yeah, to streamline their operations,
Mhm.
make the travel experience better.
And empower their employees.
Right, they're giving their employees the tools they need to succeed.
And they're not afraid to take risks and try new things.
Yeah, like that Shake Shack partnership.
It's a bold move.
It is, but it shows they're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, and they're willing to experiment.
And that Delta Digital ID thing is pretty innovative, too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So they're proving that you can be profitable and do good at the same time.
Exactly. And they're setting a great example for the rest of the industry.
So what's next for air travel?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
But if Delta is any indication,
Yeah.
I think we're going to see air travel become even more personalized,
Okay.
more convenient, and more sustainable.
And hopefully more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Travel should be fun.
Yes, it should.
Out of hassle.
Right. So airlines that get that
Yeah,
are going to be the ones that succeed.
for sure.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Delta Airlines.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new.
I know I did.
Until next time. Safe travels, everyone.